Oh, I literally just turned the mute on. That was very smart of me. How are we all doing on this fine, festive Friday? God, hasn't the year flown by? There we go. Oh, the green screen's catching my jacket. I should adjust that. But look here. Almost the weekend, let's go. Hell yeah. Good to see you, Master. Orc Boy Phil, bar humbug. It's alright, it'll be over soon. It's only the Christmas season. Streamer's late. You are wrong. A streamer is never late. They arrive exactly when they mean to. Get wrecked, I believe, is the technical terminology there. Let's have a look at the filters on this camera. Yeah, doing well, mate. Doing well. Festive like snow. Yeah, exactly. That's just... Okay, so the jacket doesn't blur. We get a little bit of bleeding up at the top. Let's put the second light on. This is the ghetto fix. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, boy, Phil, got a bunch of snotlings arriving tomorrow. Hopefully you'll also have my 2000 by 40mm bases. You don't need 2000. I think you can only fit like 60 snotlings in or something like that, right? The music is your jam. Excellent stuff. Good to have you, Valis. Only 3 more hours of pretending to work. Excellent. Is that you almost done for the festive season, Richard? This is me just topping up my water jug. It's a very festive act. Where did the double frame go? Yeah, I had a chat with Rob of Square-Based fame, because obviously we're both in Nottingham, so occasionally we do go for a coffee or something, and he read me the Riot Act, and he said I had to get rid of it, which I don't disagree with. So 2026 is going to be the year of being more professional, and looking a little bit less like a hobo as well. So I'm working on that. Muted? I hope not. Everyone else seems to be able to hear me. And I can see my mic's picking up there. Alright. What have we got? What have we got? Well, if you hear just you, Halo. Didn't catch that one. The hobo vibes are where I subscribe. No, look, I'm wearing an actual shirt and a real jacket. I'm a real boy. I can dress myself instead of just living in a hoodie all the time. Which is probably a change that I should go back to. I used to dress so well, and then COVID came around, and it was just, well, time to wear comfy clothes as opposed to anything else. So that's my Christmas present to myself. I've bought a chunk of things to upgrade my wardrobe with. All in a very similar sort of style. Hey, Jacker. Okie dokie. Well, this is the last one of... I guess it's maybe not the last one of the year. What's the date? It's the 19th today, 26th. Okay, so this is probably going to be the last stream, or... Oh, yeah, I guess it's the last Fix My List of the year, anyway. We'll come into 2026 with renewed enthusiasm, although I think the lists that have been submitted today are pretty fun. We are in that sort of weird waiting period where we're waiting for the game to get FAQ'd, so people are submitting more interesting stuff instead of just like trying to work out what the standard meta list will be. Hey Martin, Abe Vian or Christian, whichever you prefer. If it's a shirt with buttons on it, was made by evil. It was made by evil. Is that your opinion of shirts? I should find. Hold on. Let me find some pictures. I used to be a dapper man when I went to Warhammer tournaments. Let me just pull this up. I'll make sure I'm not accidentally showing anything on stream I don't want to show. Okie dokie. Let me just. Hold on. Let me just change the video source. That'll probably work better. We'll see if it crops well, but we'll find out together, eh? We will find out together. What we got here? Boom. This is me at a tournament. 2022. So this was the tail end of when we were all still masking. What else have we got? I think there's probably some hilarious stuff in here. Why are these pictures in? Alright, I don't really know what I'm looking at here. Let's go to here. I think the other one that you'll... God. This is going back down memory lane. Where's the one I'm looking for? There we go. I did at one point have a mohawk. This was the first time I drank absinthe. That was an experience for sure. I have no memory of that night. That was just something that happened to me. I was a participant along for the ride. Alright, let me pull back up the list there. Wow. As if he'd come at me like that. Alright. Alright. Let's get into it. Let's go to it. I can't remember if I said, if you're here and you haven't already, give the stream a thumbs up. Helps get picked up by the algorithm. Streaming in December doesn't seem to be going too well. Lots of people have other things to do with their time, which is super reasonable, but it does mean that the streams take a lot longer to kick off. That's for sure. That is for sure. Okie dokie. What do we got? Who have I seen in the chat that submitted a list that is here? Dropping in to listen before I booze up later. Amazing. Thank you, Tanako. Tell you what, let's put yours on first. I heard the sound. Is the alert box just behind other things? Why did that not show up? Well, thank you anyway. I appreciate that. Let's have a look at your list to start off with, because I'm pretty sure you put in... Or am I talking out my backside? Was it Tafster? Oh no, I think I'm talking rubbish. What more could you want for Christmas than Warhammer? Nice. You need to change your visible name match to your Discord username again. Yeah, absolutely. Like this YouTube changes. I'm very, very funny, very difficult to keep up. Hey, really? Keeps you painting while painting 2 eyes before the 29th. Jesus. Rather you than me. Rather you than me. Masfer, what list did you submit? What's your username on Discord, Masfer? I'm hoping that we got to yours, because there were about 18 or 19 lists submitted. So hopefully yours was in there. You never change your mind. That's for 24. Is your list... Did you submit your list this week? Let me have a look. No, I've just seen it. It was past... Sorry, you were about the 19th list submitted, Masfer. Apologies. I haven't been able to get to that one this week, just because I've got 16 in this week, which is still going to take 2.5 hours. You made the Spider Army and the Savage Orc Army, so I blame you, yeah. I am to blame if the lists go poorly. Where are the Slayerhole lists? Yeah, where are the Slayerhole lists? Just in general. Just in general. Oh, thank you, Masper. Appreciate that. Alright, so... right, let's just start off with... Let's go... Start with an orc list then? You know what? Fair. You've got me. Let's start with an orc list. Let's start with Amy's list. Amy, we have got your slow grow list. So this is the 500 points. Caleb, you submitted a more cult list if that made the cut. Ooh, you know what? I think there was a more cult list. Are you Tafster, Caleb? Is that your Discord username? Martin says one of the days I'll submit another one of your lists to submit for everyone to hate on. Oh, that's not the goal. Hey, existence. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you're ill. Bit of the winter flu. Feeling under the weather. Alright. I'm going to go with this mortuary cult list because this is the one that I've got in. So hopefully it is Caleb's list, and if not, here's a mortuary cult list anyway. More goats, always more ghosts. Your Discord is Caleb as well. Huh. Let me just have a look in here. Ah! I think you also might not have got to the cut either. My apologies. Hope your Orion list made in... Oh! Valis, are you... That rings a bell, Orion. I'm sure there was a Wood Elf list in here that I saw. It was Vesper's list. Corathon? Is that you? Because it does have Orion in. Hey, there we go. There we go. YouTube has specifically done this to mess with me. It's to make my life difficult. Alright. Cool. We'll go with your Wood Elf list, because you're here. And there we go. That works. So, what did you say in your notes here? List for an upcoming 2,500 points tournament. Due to the name of the city, I felt obligated to use Orion, level 4 and Hawk, due to model availability. Where on earth do you live? Where do you live that Orion is relevant? It's not a city that I've heard of. Orion City in Sri Lanka? Michigan, like Lake Orion nearby. Okay, that makes sense. There we go. Okay. So, I need to remind myself what Orion does, because it's been a hot minute, and he's very expensive, and I don't think he's very good, but we're going to build around having Orion in. Nightly Order alert. There is a Nightly Order list, yeah, absolutely. So, Orion has got MR2, move through cover, open order, D3 plus 2 stomp attacks, the ethereal on the special on the hounds remains in open order even if the hounds die, and he's got the Hawk's Talon, D3 plus 1 shots at strength 5 AP 1. That's aggressively fine, not good for something this expensive. Hawk's Talon, wait, hold on, I've just clicked that. Oh yeah, then we've got the Horn of the Wine, gains Frenzy, Spirit Kernos. Oh yeah, you've got a Bolt Thrower as well. Slash a weapon in melee, which is aggressively okay. And then the Cloak of Isha, 5 at ward, and you get a wound back on a 5+, which is terrible. Okay, so Orion is here and exists. He is cool though. He is cool. Hey Bozier. Okay. And he has Frenzy as well. God, I forgot he had Frenzy. So he's got 6 attacks with the Strength 6 AP2. So basically, you're paying 455 points for an Oak Blade character. Okay. Kind of hoping he can give the Sisters Frenzy, and it'll be funny. I mean, sure. Do we need the Sisters to be frenzied? Is that the goal? Huh. Okay. So you've also gone for a Stag with Cackling Blade, Crown of Antlers, Befuddlement of Mischief, Wild Rider Kindred. Okay, so we've just gone for 1,000,000 attacks with the Glade Lord. Then we've got a level 4 with Heartwood Pendant is a ward save near a wood, right? Oh no, it's Lord of the Wilds, of course. With Lore Familiar. Okay, sure. You haven't got any... Oof. I would love to see some Warhawk Riders to go with the Spellweaver, just to compound on the bad decision making. I know you said it's limited model availability, so I don't want to give you actual grief for it. But so we've got a level 2 Scout Kindred Battle Magic with the Oaken Stave. That's fine. That's the Dispel threat. I kind of vibe with that. I'm not actually sure that it works in a lot of matchups, but I love the gimmick and I want to see it on the table, so that's cool. This is... I mean, it's not too bad, honestly. Although, have you given it... Yeah, okay. Then we got the Glade Lord. I wonder... You know what? If we went with... the Glamour Weave Kindred to give you a 5-up ward save would be solid. It gives you Tree Spirits. So you can't use the General's Leadership. I mean, that's not the end of the world. It's 25 points for a 5-up ward. I like that more. 7 points over, though. Okay. Is there anything we can drop? Like, Crown of Antlers. Let me remind myself what this does. I know it's an impact hit. Armor Bane 1, impact hits D3, impact hits AP -2. Honestly, I don't think you need this if it's going with the Wild Riders, because they're going to kill everything they touch anyway, right? So that... And you're not going to get challenged out because you've got a unit champion in the Wild Riders. So I think we can drop the Crown of Antlers. And... Like, Armor Bane 2 is nice, but it doesn't really move the needle for me here. I think this is just going to be either good enough or no good. I'd rather see an Orion's Favor to reroll all hits and wounds. I think that's going to boost your damage more in this case, and it does fit under the points, which is nice. So we've got these. We've got 11 Glade Guard, because you have to take them, with Arcane Bodkins, and that's Ignore Cover, right? Yep, so Ignore Cover, and you've got Unit Champion to... This is fine. And then you've got the Deepwood Scouts with Arcane Bodkins. I'm a little less keen on Arcane Bodkins. Honestly, I genuinely think True Flight Arrows are much better if you don't have to take the... Like, if you don't have a banner to give you Quick Shot or something like that. This unit's going to stay still, so it's fine. Then you've got Glade Riders. Again, I feel like you lose so much efficiency on the Arcane Bodkins. It's just the True Flight Arrows that are better. I also would like to see bigger units here, I think. Double Sister the Thorn. I don't know that Double Sister the Thorn is necessary, but you're trying to give them Frenzy from the Horn of the Wild Hunt. Friendly units in range gain Frenzy. I mean, how good is that? Because the Javelins are ranged weapons. So you just get a second attack at Strength 3, but more importantly, you get a second attack at Strength 4 with the Steed. I think we can probably drop one of these units. I think going for 1 unit of 5 is fine. I don't know that the second unit's super useful. Totem of Wrath with the Wild Riders is good. You've got 3 Warhawks you can use. Okay, that's cool. Hey, Rocket. So, if we drop the second unit, Sister of the Thorn, the additional points we've spent here, and then we can... I hope you have the models for this, because if not, rough. But going to like 2 units of reserve move with 8 and a unit champion like so, and then we buff up to a 12th model, and then we're 4 points under. Like, this is more in line with what I would look to see for the core. These Glade Riders have a bit more beef to them, so they'll be firing more shots, and they're more likely to be able to take objectives and still hold them for a turn if they need to. These two, 8 is just a solid unit number. I actually maybe would prefer to go for 1 bigger unit, but it's kind of splitting hairs there. You've got enough holding objective units. Try to paint up more in a week like a good challenge. Hell yeah. I think this is better. Like, the 10 Wild Riders might be a little bit overkill, but I also kind of vibe with just having this Death Star, where the Glade Lord's like, no, actually I am going to turn you into paste. Because you're getting the extra AP. With the Cackling Blade, you've got 7 to 12 attacks, right? All hitting on probably 3s or 2s, because your weapon skill's 7. Rerolling everything on 1 turn. You're going to be strength 5, so wounding on, you know, probably 3s most of the time, rerolling. Yeah, this feels good. I like this. With the restriction of we're playing around with Orion, and, you know, the model limitation here, I think this works pretty reasonably well. Let me link that one for you. Corathon. Boom. Tell you what, let me change the permissions on this sort of channel so people can message again. Sweet. Nice. Alright. Greetings, Vesper. How are you doing? How are you doing? Let's go with... I saw Rocket in chat earlier, so we've done Corathon's Wood Elves. Painting challenge acquired, hell yeah. I think I've given you 6 Glade Riders to paint. That feels like a very achievable goal. Cool. Cool. So, next up, let's go Rocket Roo. Sea God Garrison. Oh boy. We're in for a challenge. This should be an interesting one. Now that everyone's submitting Jason's, which, thank you all, by the way, it makes my life so much easier. I did the prep for this stream in, I think, 25 minutes while I was having my dinner, so it makes my life a lot easier. Hey, Tommy. Yeah, I didn't actually look at the list too much. Hey, Merry Christmas, Noel Kneeled. That's a great name for Christmas. We like a challenge? We do like a challenge. It's a good attitude. I like it. So, immediately I hate the Dragon Mage. But, I'm not saying you're wrong. I dislike it on a fundamental level. Me. We'll have a look at rules-wise. I think it's probably one of the better things you can take in this detachment if we're being realistic. Okay, I don't love the Phoenix. But you are capped on points here. Okay, sure. So... Shadow Warriors, it's only 0 to 1 unit that can have ambushes, isn't it? Yeah, because they're written in a weird way. I'm going to have to check the rules, because I think both units could have ambush. One of them just gets it for free, something like that. Forces of Fantasy and High Elf Realms, that's what we're looking for. What are we looking at? Let's go with Sea God Garrison. So... 0 to 1 unit of Shadow Warriors with unit strength of 10 or less may have ambushes for free. So this unit here, which is getting the free ambushes, is going to have to drop down to 10. Which I don't love that, but if we're going into the back lines for like baggage train disruption, it's not the end of the world. And then let's just have a quick look at the Force of Fantasy, because I think they are written in a weird way, where only a single unit can have ambush from the datasheet, which... just another reason to be screwed over, basically. 0 to 1 unit can have ambushes. Okay, so we're going to give both of them ambushes. This one's got Feign Flight as well. That's fine. But let's keep the number of drops theoretically low. Because we can... I'm going to go to 14, and we're going to tweak around with some points in a second, so that's fine. Yeah, exactly. Just get one for free, oh damn, yeah. The overlapping of rules. I will not pretend that I can remember them all off the top of my head, but I can usually remember where the weird exceptions come in, where there's something that limits them. Okie dokie, so in core, we've got the Loth and Sea Guard, we've got the Ship's Company, we've got the Shadow Warriors. I like Sea Guard as a general concept, but I feel like you definitely want to pair them with something more exciting. Like, Ashaya Vest makes them, I think, a lot more exciting. But I don't know if we can fit that in. 230 points for 14 Shadow Warriors. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out here. Let's have a look at the stat line. So, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 5. They must be very good at combat and shooting. No, they are not. They are not. They have high initiative. They have leadership 8. They have longbows. Look at all of these special rules, and look how few of them actually make a big difference in terms of how the game plays. One of them is a downside. They can only be joined by a unit with Shadow Stalkers. So we've got skirmishers, which is good. Like, yeah, it's all fine, but... Borgio painting Warhammer's the never-ending challenge. Yeah. Hey, Matt. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, if you haven't seen, I put a video yesterday, which I did. There was one... I'll tell you, I'll get to the comment in a second. But I'm going to be running a hobby challenge, a 4-month escalation league, where I'm going to set myself the challenge of painting 2,400 points of Renegade Crowns. I've got all the models. They're just sort of sitting around. I haven't really built many. I mean, I've shown off the one that I've built. I think I've got some ogres here as well. that I'll be using as unit fillers. Doesn't show up on camera super well, but that's fine. So that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, if you want to challenge yourself to get some painting and modelling done over 4 months, come on down to Discord. There is a section, the Tale of Many Gamers. There's a forum, like, post section, where you just make your own little thread and you can post your own updates, your hobby updates, your progress, all of that good stuff. I'll be doing it. And also, if you live in or around Nottingham, I will be running an actual Escalation League through the Nottingham Wargaming Discord, which, once I've done that, I will put links in my Discord as well, so that people are able to find that and sign up to play some Escalation League games. You even have a matching baggage train / template. I do, very kindly. Remy, when I was in the Netherlands with Remy and co, got some Christmas presents, which was incredibly generous. And one of them is, I've got a really nice ship with, you know, sails and stuff. So I'll be using that as my baggage train for the army. Thank you for reminding me. It is currently safe in a box, which means that I have forgotten about it because I've put it away so it doesn't get damaged before I paint it. But it does mean that out of sight, out of mind. My brain has just immediately turned off. You're doing an Escalation League from February at Darkfire Catering. Oh, nice. That works out nicely. Yeah, like you're well, like, everyone's welcome to jump in the hobby side of things just whenever they fancy. Use it as a tool to do more hobby as opposed to not. So let's take a slight brief break from what I was doing. In fact, I wonder if I can find the filtered comment. Let me just pull up the back end here. Community. I think there is a way for me to show the things that. Here we go. Seems to have disappeared. All right. Someone left a comment saying, "Why are you even bothering with the hobby? Just go back to, you know, continue doing things overly competitive." Yada yada. I can't remember the exact context of it. Like, why are you even here? Like, if you don't like my approach, that's absolutely fine. But fuck off. I would say respectfully, but disrespectfully. Like, you know, there's no need to tell me that you don't like me, because I don't care. I did think that was funny. Use the hobby update as a tool to earn more armies. Yeah, absolutely. 10 out of 10 approach. As someone who also likes owning many armies. Alright, cool. Well, let's actually have a look at this list. So, I don't think Six Ships Company is good. Like, I'm not 100% opposed to a detachment, but if we're doing that, let's do it in a way where it's a unit that can also hold objectives and do something. So this could go up to 12 if we're doing that. And we'll just cut points from the Shadow Warriors because, frankly, Shadow Warriors are far too expensive. Yeah, something like that looks good. Hobby and competing go hand in hand? Absolutely. Absolutely. I've done some really nice painting. Not recently, but I have done. So, if we look at the first flyer, which is the Griffin, you've gone Starlance. Okay. Starlance, Sea Rebirth, Dragonhelm. Doesn't the Garrison Commander only have 3 attacks? Yes. I don't think the Starlance is what to go with. I know it's only 45 points, but 3 attacks at Strength +4, AP -4 is fine, but it's very expensive for what you get. What if we go... Oh, we need the regen. Oh, we need the regen. Damn, I wanted to go Cackling Blade, but 65 points is too much, so we can't actually fit that in. Bugger. And you can't go Princess either. Man, this detachment is so depressing. Okay. Oh no. Oh, it makes me sad. You're considering making new display boards, but the army is the hard choice. Yes. Remy had a pretty cool display board for WTC, which won him the painting. So, you know, effort well spent, I would say. There's just really nothing that sparks joy, is there, for output? And you can't go for a great weapon because it doesn't exist. Oh man, spending 45 points for strength 7 AP4 attacks, but only 3 of them. What's the weapon skill? 6 as well. I hate that. I hate that so much. Okay, we'll come back to it. Got the Noble with a great weapon, full plate, longbow, talisman of protection, seed of rebirth. You definitely want a shield on there as well, because you need to get to that 3 up armor save. Pure of Heart. Sure, that feels fine. Dragon Mage is just doing Dragon Mage things. Level 1 battle magic. Yeah, that's probably as good as it's going to get. No ward save though, or no regen. That definitely needs a regen. Like if you're taking a mounted beastie. Okay, let's. I'm just going to remove all of these, and we're gonna go again, but we're gonna keep the theme. Let's start with the Dragon Mage, and everyone's gonna get the Seed of Rebirth. So, like, this is... I rag on the Dragon Mage, but I think for 300 points... What is it? 6 wounds? 6 wounds at T5 with a 4 up armor save, a 5 up regen is not too bad. I'd love to get a ward save in there as well. And in fact, I think it comes with Dragon Armor, right? Yeah, it comes with a 6 up ward. Okay, so this is like... For 300 points, it's relatively tanky and relatively punchy. It's about as good as we're getting. It's weapon skill 5 as well? Weapon skill 4. Sure. Okay, so that will do. Then we're going to go with... I think, character-wise, it might be better to go with the Sky Cutters. How do we do that, though? Because you can't go princes. God, you can't go princes. Okay, maybe it's the Griffins, then. Maybe it just has to be the Griffins. And everyone obviously goes for a Seed of Rebirth, and you probably chuck a Charm Shield on there as well. Get that once per 5 up ward save, and that feels like the default. And then we've got to go Warbow, Heavy Armor. We don't need a shield because we paid for the shield already. And then we've got no weapon. So we'll go Cav Spear for now, but we'll come back and tweak if needs be. I always have it rough, not as bad as it listens, but close. I don't think it's that close. Like, if you're talking Grand Army, you can still run Double Dragon. Like, High Elves aren't amazing, but they're okay. Meteor Hammer is expensive is the problem. So, like, we have 50 points that we could spend here, but I don't... Like, I'd rather try and get something else good in, if possible. I'd love to fit a Cackling Blade in, but I don't know how we do that, because it would need to be a prince to fit that much in. Like, I just don't want to spend 40-odd points on magic weapons when I've only got 3 attacks. That feels very rough. It might be like a Sword of Might angle. I think Sword of Might is better than a Cav Spear. It's more consistent, it gives you magical attacks, that's probably fine. You see Dragon Mage, you press like the stream. Nice. Remember to like the stream for the Dragon Mage. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Okay. So... 3 attacks feels bad. 3 attacks feels really rough. I think it's this. I think it's the double Griffin like so. And then... Or is it double Dragon Mage? I feel like actually double Dragon Mage might be better. So maybe we go for the general being a Seaguard Garrison Commander, but we go for a double Dragon Mage. That feels like you get more juice out of it, you know? And you can take Hammer Hand, so all of them have attacks against Ethereal. And then we say, what if we... Okay, so we're 30 points over. Okay. The way we make this work, we go double Garrison Commander. We go 1 with a Biting Blade. Hey, there we go. There we go. One's got Sword of Might, one's got Biting Blade. Dragon Mage, a Shire Vess. And a Shire Vess obviously gives Precision Strikes, which gives you AP1 on all attacks from the Lothern Seaguard. Boom. Nailed it. Nailed it. Frostart Phoenix, I don't love, but you're running these around in pairs, so I understand. Honestly, let's just go 1 unit. Let's just go 1 unit of Shadow Warriors, and we'll just do that. can be ambushed, scout or not. Indeed. Indeed. Do we want to give this anything? There's just nothing that it's worth having, is there? Could give it the Lawmaster's Cloak, but it's on the Sea Guard. Yeah. I don't like the Razor Standard. Armor Bane for 40 points is definitely a trap. Is there anything that's worth putting on? I don't think the Monster Hunter's Tapestry is worth playing in this meta, to be honest. You just like challenge them out and then win that way. It might be... I mean, -1 to be shot isn't bad. Banner of Confidence... I think Banner of Confidence is better. It makes you better at what you do as opposed to anything else. And at this point, this is where we go up to... We're going to make them an actual decently sized unit. We go 35, and then this unit can go with the ship's company. You can only go... It's 1 detachment per, right? Oh, God, I hate detachments. Ugh. Oh. Nope, that's... there we go. There we go. Right, let's have a look. Detachment. Oh, God damn it. Why can't I spell detachment? Detach. There is no second T. Okay. How do I work out how many detachments I can have for a single detachment? Okay, so you can have multiple detachments. I feel like it's 2. I just can't remember where I saw that. Ah, here we go. Creating a detachment. I'm gonna lose my mind. It's 2. I'm just gonna trust you, Remy. You will know. You will know. Okay. Sure. So we're gonna go 2. Which... Let's just duplicate here. And... Let's just drop down... 31... 31's fine. What do we have to lose? Drilled for free. Yeah, we're not losing that, obviously. Is there anything that we want to lose here? Shield. Oh, it's free. Oh, we don't need the cav spear because we've got a weapon. Boom! There we go. I hope that helps, Rocket Row. That's where we're going. That is where we're going. Size can be up to half the parent unit, indeed. So we're going 2 units of 12 so they can both stand and shoot. I will say I am not a believer in detachments. I've yet to see them do well. But... Okay, Sarah, Sarah. Boom! Boom, boom, boom. You are welcome. You are welcome. Alright. That was fun. We've done some wild stuff. We will get to your list, Vespa, because I've seen you in chat, but we've just done Wood Elves, then Sea Elves. So let's take a break before we go back into more Wood Elves. New Sea Guard meta coming. I hope so. That would be amazing. I'd be a huge fan of that. Let's have a look at Valone's Wolves of the Sea. Hi, Ed. I like the Huskarls a lot, and I was thinking using them on the flanks with shooting casters could put out a fair bit of damage. Interested to see what you think. Okay. I don't like that, because these units want to be... Like, they're very expensive, so I think using them as casting bunkers actually is wasting their potential. But I'm not opposed to Huskarls. Your list is also a bit wacko. Yeah, amazing. That's the fun lists. Like, you know, if someone sends me, like, here's an 80% done Bretonian list, I'm like, and woo! We're done. So, anytime that people are a little bit unwell, you know, that makes my life more interesting. Okay, so I think the general premise of having the casters with the Huskarls doesn't work. That's not to say you can't have... Oh, no, you can't have them with Marauder Horsemen. Okay. Okay, so we go... Damn. This was a lot easier a month ago. They go, oh, let's have them with some Marauder Horsemen. But we can't do that, can we? We cannot do that. And it's only Huskarls. There's no cap on them other than the regular. And if you're going spawn, I want to see 2 spawn. So let's just start off there. Let's start off there. Oh, I didn't even see your comment, Mr. Siren. But that was well timed because I am indeed doing some chaos. So we've got a Chaos Lord, Flail, Nurgle, Dragon, Favour of the Gods. I prefer the Exalted Champion, but for what you're doing, I guess. Oh no, Exalted Chiefed. It's fine. That is fine. So, let's say... What if you went level 2 Battle Magic in case you roll into a Fireball? That feels better than going Demonology, because you're always going to take the Tzeentch Blue Fire. So let's do that. Let's just live in Wonderland and give both the ability to roll Fireball. And then... let's put them both with 1 unit of Huskarls, which we will go Brazen Collar, because this is the defensive unit. We'll just give them Cav Spears, we'll give them Heavy Armor, we'll give them Shields and Drilled. God, Drilled is expensive. Let's not bother with Drilled. We're not marching. We've got theoretically 6 magic missiles in this 1 unit. Unnatural Fortitude feels very good, though, getting them up to T5. It is T5, right? They start at T4? Yeah. Yeah, this kind of slaps. Like, this concept kind of slaps. This unit here... Huh. I feel like this is the unit that you weren't expecting to get into combat. Have I just done a stupid? I think I have just done a stupid. Oh, no, that's fine. I've tweaked one list. Let's give them Heavy Armor and Shields. This one can be Drilled. This one doesn't need to be Mark of Tzeentch, so let's just keep them undivided. And I'm not opposed to giving them Dark Hearts as well. It is only 10 points for the squad, making them more likely to actually crunch a unit. We'll give them the Brazen Collar. Neat. Okay. Marching is for stomachs. Marching is for stomachs. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure what you mean. But I'm just going to assume it was funny. Very good. Very good. I'm immediately seeing that I'm probably going to have to drop one of the gigantic spawn to fit this in. Shame. Yeah. I mean, I guess we don't actually need to be so... Like, we don't need to be so big. Honestly, this unit can be 7. And they should hit pretty damn hard. So they got Furious Charge, right? Yeah. Furious Charge, Weapon Skill 4, Strength 5, AP 3, reroll 1s to wound. That's going to hit pretty hard. I like it. And then the Bunker can also be a smaller unit. Not too small, though. 8 feels fine. We definitely give it... Blasted... Icon of Darkness for -1 to be shot back. So Magic Resist 1 with T5, and we're also -1 to be shot. That feels pretty good. 1 bunker, 2 smaller units. Yeah. You're off work until Monday. Amazing. Congratulations, Hail Hydra. Hopefully a cult and you made me delirious. Yep, that'll do it to you. I don't know that we go for a second unit, like a third unit of Huskarls. I think 1 hitter unit and 1 caster unit feels good. And this can be 5 wide, 2 deep with 2 casters in. So on the right base size. Yeah, I like that. Can it be open order or is it only close order? Only close order. Shame. I would have liked the pivot, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You do still have more points available. Unhinged. Okay, so then we've got the BSB, not the BSB, the Marauders, a given musician, because it's a ranked up unit. Hand weapon, light armor shields, close order, and natural fortitude. I think we probably don't pay 35 points for Cult of the Carrion Crow, but I am interested to see how good that once per game T5 is. You have to use it well, but it feels pretty solid. Warhounds without Vanguard, let's give them Vanguard. We've got 5 Marauders. I do not see a use for this unit. I'm just going to get rid of them. 5 models on their own, it's not going to do much. The Berserkers, 12. This unit, I feel like, is the backfield holder, right? So we don't need those 2, because that's just going to give up points. And let's just have them on the home objective. Sure. We're going to get rid of the second spawn. I want to, but with the gimmick that we're putting in, I don't think it's going to work out. At which point, let's go like 14, and then go like a second unit of Warhounds, and we could go up to 8 again with this. Something like this feels pretty good. Hey, balloons! I like the concept, but what I don't know if you caught the first bit, we've got one unit that's going to just hit hard. They're going to go in and kill stuff, and then this unit's going to have both casters in, and you're just going to blow things up. That's the goal. Work delayed you. That's rude. I can't believe they'd do this. Yeah, so we upgraded them both to level 2 when battle magic, so you can roll, try and get Fireball / Oaken Shield / Arc and Urgency. And you're always going to swap into the Tzeentch Blue Fire, so it doesn't really make a difference. You don't need to be in Demonology. And yeah, I think kept the core of the list the same. I think that should work pretty well. I'm interested to hear how the caster bunker works, because it's a T5 4-up save caster bunker, which is pretty beefy. -1 to be shot, magic resist 2. As long as you don't get charged, he'll be okay. Pew pew. All right, amazing. Should be a fun one to play. I like. You've got some fun stuff in here. Let's have a palate cleanser. Let's have a palate cleanser. We'll go with 750 points of Lisbon. That's what we're going to do. And it's Val. It says, see Discord, because there wasn't enough space for the notes. Let's have a look at what we've got. Okay, so Val says they got a cheap Age of Sigmar Lisbon Spearhead box and some secondhand skinks, and have decided to start a 750 point Lisbon list for an upcoming event, not Renegades. Okie dokie. You have the rough list below, but not, the Pterodons and Scar Veterans are not set in stone. What do you think? Alright, so 750 points for Battle March. I've clicked the wrong list. There we go. We've got Warriors, Skirmishers, Kroxigor, Pterodon Riders, Veteran on a Cold One, Skate Priest. Okay. I mean, at 750 points, this Scar Veteran is going to absolutely slap. You do have the option to go 0 to 1 per 1,000 points. What if instead of the Skink Priest and the Scar Veteran, what if we use your single 0 to 1 per 1,000 points, and we just gave you the beefiest solo character that ever beefed? So you're just running around with... How many points can we spend on this thing? 750... Isn't it 187.5? Okay. Cool. So you'd given them Horned One, Charm Shield. Yeah, we can fit both of those on here, I think. Charm Shield and Horned One. Horned One giving you Stupidity, but you have Stupidity anyway. Oh no, Horned One gives you Remove Stupidity and Move Characteristic 8. So you've just got this beta that runs around on its own. You can include 0 to 1 per 1,000 points in a 750 point list. Yeah. In Battle March, we can have a single 0 to 1 per 1,000 points. Assuming that everyone who told me that last week was correct. And if not, I blame them. If not, I blame them. Old Blood on Flying Carpet was sick, by the way. That's pretty fun. This does the same thing, but you also get the additional armor of the Cold One, and the additional attacks of the Cold One, and you save a lot of points. I think I like this more. So this is slightly over the points, because I think it has been a hot minute since I looked at the Battle March points, but I'm pretty sure you are still capped at having to be only 25%. So we'll get rid of the musician here. And that makes it legal. Have I considered the Crackling Blade? Good shout. Good shout. Okay. So we can't also go for a Skink Priest, but what if we go for a Skink Chief? With the Ruby Ring of Ruin. I'm assuming this is a competitive list. I think you said it was for an event, right? Let's have a look here. An upcoming event. So we're building a good list. We're not necessarily trying to be friendly. So magic missiles, es bueno. And we can go... I don't really want to mount it on anything here. Yeah, this feels fine. Does it have Scout? It can't have Scout. Ooh. That sucks. Like, we could spend the points to give it the Trailblazer's Hauberk, but then we won't have points for the Ruby Ring of Ruin, so I guess we just have to not do that. You know what? Those options... Oh, yeah. No, they are. They're not to 1 per 1,000 points. Okay, that's why we're not including them. Pterodon Riders. I feel like they're, like, aggressively mid. But I guess at 750 points, it's probably the only place you could take them, right? Is it the Pterodon Riders? Or is it the Ripidon Riders that we're looking at? So I feel like the Ripidons actually kind of do something, whereas the Pterodons I'm not sold on. Oh, I guess it's not that one. What did they say? Cheap Age of Sigmar Lisbon Spear box. Okay, so this is what they've got. Okay, I see. So they'd have to buy extra stuff anyway. It's not Renegades, no. Drop Rocks is good for keeping characters locked in the bunkers. True. That is true. You have got me there. How many points more are the... So it's 92 or... Yeah, okay. So we're not fitting the Ripidactyls in anyway. Okay. I think the Croxigore is just an interesting addition. I think they're going to hit real hard. Yep. Honestly, I'm thinking maybe we just don't bother with the standard here. It means we don't give up any points for standard, and also that is exactly the amount of points we need to drop to get to here. So maybe you just run 12 with no command, and you lean on the fact that you're T4 with a 4-up save. Is it a 4-up save? With a 3-up save. Ooh. You've also got 2 attacks each at strength 4, AP 1, Obsidian Blades. Yeah. Yeah. 2x6, unit champion, no other command. Alright. I dig it. Val, I think you had a pretty darned good list there. Boom. Alright, that'll do it. What are we up to next? Alright, Matthew is here, and possibly off his nut on hop syrup. But we've got Matt's Escalation Empire. It says the idea is that the Moot is riding to the rescue of the Westlands, using some of the Empire made to orders I've accrued, Engineer Captain Warwagon, Hero on Pegasus Command Group, Collegiate Arcana, and some fun STLs that have come out recently. This is for Escalation. This is for Escalation. Okay, so this is a 2,000 point list with a single Hellblaster and 2 Great Cannons. Just to start off, I'm assuming that it's deliberate that you haven't gone 3 cannons and 2 Hellblasters. It would make the list better, but I'm going to leave the War Machine count at the same, because I'm assuming that's to keep it. Oh, okay. No need to stick to that any of that too closely. Like, how competitive are you trying to make this map? What's the goal? Did he say the Moot, as in the Halfling state? Yeah, absolutely. That is what we got. You wrote that before you mentioned artillery. No worries. No worries at all. So you are keeping the artillery low. Cool. Okay, so we've got a general for leadership 10. Great weapon, full plate, Witch Hunter's Ward, no shield. We'll go with the Charm Shield as well. Always nice just to have the option there. Then you've gone Maverick and Goose, very good. So you've got a captain with a lance, full plate, Pegasus, Charm Shield. Now, I was really impressed by... God, who was it? I think it was the Belgians that had this setup. Pearl Daggers. Oh, it wouldn't be on a captain. It would be on a Chapter Master, I think it was. So Chapter Master, Pegasus, Laurels of Victory. Oh, I guess it has to be on a Grandmaster. Darn. It was really good though. It chased a dragon down, so you know, hard to argue with. Pegasus. Here we go. Pearl Daggers. Also Laurels of Victory, and I can't remember off the top of my head, and I'm not going to check. But let's slam a Twice Blessed Armor on there and just really be aggressive with it. And then we put a shield on. The Pegasus isn't barded, I don't think, so it's only a 3-up save, or a 4-up save in combat. But this thing just runs around and adds so much combat res. This thing is truly disgusting. And then we've got... A captain is never going to do anything with the Dragon Slaying Sword, I'm afraid to tell you. I love the energy, but I think no. Just for your own happiness, it has to be a no. But having this one be like Lance, Shield, Pegasus feels pretty okay. Let's change that to a Charm Shield. Blazing Sun for the initiative. What am I looking for? Charm Shield. This guy here is sneaky scary. He goes in, he does all his attacks with the Pearl Daggers, Laurel of Victory. Remy saying Blazing Sun for initiative. I don't think you mean initiative, do you? Or is it Fiery Heart that gives initiative? Okay. Ah, yeah, there we go. So Pearl Daggers give you reroll 1s to wound already. Failed hit rolls. So the Fiery Heart gives you rerolls to hit or wound of a natural 1 made during the combat phase. I don't think that's going to do it here. Although I guess the reroll 1s to wound also apply... No, they don't apply to the bound spell, so that doesn't actually make a difference. Blazing Sun for +1 combat res is pretty good. So let's go with that. Nice, he could be Goose or Fiery Heart. Yeah, I think Blazing Sun is solid here. Okay, so That's one of them. And then this one, I think just having this be cheap is not bad. I don't hate that at all. Warwagon Engineer Talisman Protection. I vibe with it. I feel like if you're going for the Battle Magic Caster, is that for... Are you really just trying to make this unit as tanky as possible? Are you just doubling down? Are you going for a ward save? Is that the goal? Feels like that might be the goal. I don't know that I want 2 squishy wizards to keep my unit alive for the -1 to hit and the ward save. I think I'd almost rather just have more models, honestly, instead of this, because this dies so quickly. Just making this bigger. You have loads of wizards, sorry. No worries. Let's go... okay, what did we go with? We went with Blazing Sun, right? So let's make a unit of Knights Blazing Sun. Which I don't think had any upgrades other than just being there. With... I do like Stubborn on these. Stubborn Drilled is pretty nice to have. Makes them a little more expensive, but that's fine. I think... So we've got one big brick of troops, which you probably want to go bigger than just 20 or 24. One unit of knights, and then we've got the Warbows. Okay, we'll come back to the core, but like at its core, having a unit of knights, which might go bigger, a unit of state troops, which feels good, and then a couple of unit of archers feels pretty okay as well. I'm just going to go 12 for both for now. Cannon, Hellbuster, Polygon. Took your Collegiate Arcana advice. Yeah, they're great models, aren't they? I really, really like that kit. I think it's really solid. Okay, so we've got... I mean, what is this guy bringing? Is he bringing anything? Other than... Magic Resist? Let's put the Magic Resist in here. Let's get rid of the General. Let's upgrade Goose to... Let's just go... Can you go double Grandmaster? Yeah, screw it. Grandmasters actually do something. And let's go both of them on Pegasus. Okay. So you've got one that actually does a lot. This one does the most. And then this one... Is it worth having it a Grandmaster? 4 attacks, weapon skill 6? Honestly, kind of no. I think I was cooking too hard there for a second. So let's just go back to having the Chapter Master with a lance, full plate, Charm Shield Pegasus. Okay, this feels fine. Then we've got a single engineer, we've got a Wizard Lord. Icon of Fortitude for immune to multi-wound. Chapter Master only has 3 wounds, right? Yeah, could do. Makes it a decent hunter of war machines if we do that. It does make the armor save worse, though. No, it's a talisman. I'm stupid. Okay. Yeah, I can live with that. That can go around and hunt war machines in the backfield. So we've got those 2. Then we've got the Wizard Lord, which I don't hate having 1 wizard. And having it to provide a ward save feels fine. But I think let's also give it the... Oh, we can't give it... yeah. +1 to Dispel. If we're using it defensively, we may as well, right? And then... I don't think there's anything else we need to put on here. Yeah, I think this is okay. I wouldn't say no, though, to a BSB if we're going for, you know, having the state troop brick. Captain, BSB, full plate, charm shield. Does it need anything else here? Not really. No, this all feels... We could just keep it cheap. Give it a... Could go War Banner. This is maybe where Monster Hunter's Tapestry comes in, but I think I actually just like the -1 to be shot more. to make them a little bit more resilient to the things that you're realistically going to face. Your mileage may vary. Advice may change after January 30th. Yeah, that feels better. I like the engineer. Just, it's cool to put in. It's a bit of a roadblock. It's pretty neat. And then we're 3 points over. We can drop the musician from this squad, I think. Boom! I think I like that more. You've probably got a BSB and your irresponsible made to orders. Amazing. I'd be disappointed if you didn't, I think. But yeah, something like that I feel like is a better middle ground. So you've got like a really tanky combat res brick. You've got one unit of the Pig Knights who I think are genuinely good. They bring first charge, they bring extra combat res in, the banner that they bring, and also the Order of the Blazing Sun. Oh no, that's only for characters. It's, still having evasive is not bad. Just having knights is good and the models are cool. A couple of units of archers, amazing. Only 2 cannons, 1 Hellblaster volley gun to make sure that we're not going too heavy on the shooting. Got an engineer to get that on the tabletop. We've got double Pegasus, one of which kind of does the most, and then one of them hunts war machines pretty darned well. And then finally, yeah, I like it. I think that was good. Chamaze balls. Nice. Cool. Alright. Vesper. I hope you're still here, because I think we've looked at enough non-elves. We're going to have a blast through yours. I remember vaguely looking at it the first time around. So this is Orion's Wild Hunt. Vesper says it's just as many Glade Captains as I can take. Immediately. Amazing. 10 out of 10. Because it's funny. I've played the Ranger unit and it feels really good if played aggressively, but it's very much a high risk, above average reward kind of unit. Might be a Wild Rider problem. When you say Ranger... What do you mean Ranger? The Wildwood Rangers? I guess you mean the Wildwood Rangers. Okay, cool. Oh no, here we go. Okay, so... Oh wow. So immediately starting off, we've got Glade Riders with Furious Charge. And we've got Warhawk Riders with Furious Charge. I like Warhawk Riders with Furious Charge. This feels good. I'm not actually sold on the Glade Riders with Furious Charge. I'm going to downgrade them from Bodkins to True Flight Arrows immediately, because they will never be stood still, which means that Bodkins are going to be it's going to be very difficult to get good use out of them. I also think this unit falls over unbelievably quickly to any magic, so I'm going to give them a single lodestone. MR1 on this unit is really worth the money I have found. Beast Pack, good. The Rangers, giving them immune to stomps. Honestly, I understand the thought process here. I'm worried that giving them immunity to stomps actually makes them worse at their job, because no one will ever put a monster into them because they know that they can't beat you. So I think it might actually be Banner of the Swirling Wind here, so that they can actually get somewhere. All of the Glade Hold on, they have BSB with Springtide. All of the Glade Captains are supposed to go in them. I just assumed these captains were not on... that they were on mounts. Or we're talking about the Glade Riders here? Or the Warhawk Riders? What are we talking about? What's going on? I'm not actually sure what's going on. Where are you saying that all the Glade Captains are meant to go in the Glade Riders? Is that what you're saying? Because I'm not 100% sold on that as a plan. They're meant to go in the Glade Riders. What if they went in instead? Hear me out. Sister of the Thorn, who have a 4 ward save. So the Glade Riders, because if you're just using it as a bunker for things, reserve move. Let's lose that and change the banner for the quick shot. Nope. Quick shot. You've got that already. Hold on, right. Okay, I need to look at the characters, because obviously I'm working ass backwards on this one. So, Glade Lord with Longbow, Arcane Bodkins, Great Stag, Ogre Blade, Orion's Flavor, Blight of Terrors. That is a lot of points that we're not getting back. So we're going to get that back right now. 50 points for Terror on a 1,000-point unit is probably not worth the squeeze. Ogre Blade Orion's Favour, I think, slaps though with Wild Rider Kindred. So this is just a really killy model. Okay, Glade Captain, Banner of Springtide, Great Weapon, Light Armor, Bow, Bodkins, Steed, Wild Rider Kindred, Lamentation of Despairs. You've done Terror Things. Terror Things are fun. I don't think, unfortunately, Wood Elves have points to do. Haha, look at this incredible synergy I've got going for me. Which is a real shame, but... And then we got Great Weapon, Ariel's Favour for the Magic Resist, Wild Rider Kindred. Okay. Okay, so we're spending a lot of points on magic arrows on models that want to get into combat. So we'll drop that for now, because these are all melee characters that don't necessarily care about shooting. Also, Banner of Springtide on a Wild Rider Kindred Glade Captain is not where I want to be. But Monster Hunter Tapestry on this character, that's a maybe. That is a potentially yes. Because that changes the maths on whether these characters can go into a dragon, theoretically. Glade Captain, Great Weapon, Light Armor, Longbow, Steed, Luminescence. The Glade Risers are a vehicle for as many character attacks as possible with riders. Yes. Matthew says that was a very English. I'm not 100% sold. Yeah. There's a great channel that I've been scrolling past every now and then on YouTube Shorts as I just sort of doom scroll my life away. That translates how to say things in British. You know, the polite way that we say, absolutely fucking not. Then we've got a level 1 Spellsinger with high magic with the Sigil of the Mage Queen. That's a plus to cast item, right? And you're using it for high magic? For drain magic, I guess? On foot? What are my thoughts on a level 3 Slaughtermaster with Illusion, Law Familiar, and Meter Harrow? Yeah, it seems fine. Already got a pretty okay strength. I guess you're only strength 4. Yeah, it's probably okay. I don't hate it. You could even fit a power scroll in there. Okay, we're going to drop the Wildwood Rages, because we're trying to do a thing here, and I think the thing is being diluted by trying to also do another thing. So, this is just going to be... We're going to put some core in that's going to play the game for us. And that's going to make us happy. Because this is a list that is not only doing a theme, but it's trying to win. Okay, so we've got 2 units of Glade Riders. That is our core scoring / reserve moving shooting done. Then we've got the Wild Riders, which are fine. We've got... I think here we just go 6 with shields. Like, I don't know that we need to add any more juice. We can distribute the characters if we need to. Let's, in fact, give them all Magic Resist 1 to make it actually do something. So we're just going to duplicate this because it's less clicks than finding the lodestone again. Or less time, anyway. Okay, so the core is now a bit juicier. And I think that works pretty well. Yeah, okie dokie. Then we've got the Warhawk Riders, which... Again, has Magic Resist. Sure. I am not opposed to... We can't take level 3 wizards, goddamn. Okay, we'll come back to the characters in a second. I think the vehicle for what we want to put in is the Sister of the Thorn. If we want one Death Star that hits real hard, I think Sister of the Thorn. We've got Magic Resist in the unit already, and we're going to go turn off Stumps. We've got a 4 up ward save. Oh. No. Totem of Wrath. Yeah, this is the Death Star that will shake the earth. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Cool. Okay, and then characters. So we've got the Glade Lord on the Stag. I really like the Stag. It's the only way you get first charge into the list. I'm not opposed to having more Stags. They also give a lot more juice to the unit. You don't get counter charge with Sister of the Thorn. That's fine. We're just going to play better than them. Yeah, Cthulhu. I'll talk about them after I've done this. Or the Blazing Dim Sum. You have had too much cough medicine. Okay, so this character hits real hard. This character, I'd like to see that on a Stag, I think. You can only go 2 Stags, and we're going to go 4 wide? 8 wide. So we can go 4 characters in the front. So 2 will be on Stags, and the rest have to be on horses. Okay, so we've got the BSB, Monster Hunter Tapestry, Great Weapon. Let's at least give it, I guess, a Charmed Shield. Sure. That feels fine. Then we go this character, Great Weapon, Longbow, Steed, Favor, Wild Kindred, that's fine. And then we've got this one, which again, Resplendent Luminescence. I'm actually going to put Resplendent Luminescence on the Captain, but we're going to give it an actual attempt to stay alive, I think. So instead of a Great Weapon, we'll give it the Cav Spear. So it can always use its shield, and it's on the Stag. So it's going to have a 3-up armor save with T4. Yeah. Is there anything else we can give it to make it stay alive? I don't really want to spend points on Icon of Fortitude. I want a better armor save, but I just can't. I can't fit the Helm of the Hunt plus the ward save, and I think the ward save is better. Alright, that'll do. That'll do. And then with 36 points over. So this unit just goes down to 6. Yeah. I think this is the way that I would maximize your list, Vesper. And I have no idea if it will work. But it's what I'd do. Wood Elves had a sale on captains. Damn right they did. Even without counter charge, you're just so quick you got to play better than your friends. Forehead. Yep, 100%. Instead of the rod, grounding flyers make them eat to charge in the ground is funny. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. You have good leadership. I don't know where you'd fit it into the list. I guess it could go on like one. I mean, you've got points. You could go on one of the captains. Yeah, it could go on one of the captains. Yeah. You have to make some more cuts to get there. Maybe the second unit of Wild Riders goes away. But then I feel like we're spreading ourselves a little bit thin. But this unit, like, how many attacks are we getting, right? So if we're just talking, it's all going to be at least strength 6, right? No, it's only strength 5 in the captain. Okay, so we're getting 10 attacks here from Great Weapons. We're getting 6 attacks with the Ogre Blade with full rerolls. And then we've got the Glade Captain with 5 attacks with the Cav Spear. Maybe you go with Great Weapon here and you only use the Cav Spear if you the hand weapon if you absolutely have to. Hand weapon shield. Yeah, screw it. So you've got 15 attacks at strength 6. All hitting on 3s. All into Graveguard. All wounding on 2s, rerolling 1s. So you just get all of them through. You roll AP 3. That'll punch through the unit. If this works, it's salt inducing, so I like it. I don't think this is. I think this feels very acceptable. Like, if someone beat me with this, I'm not going to be salty. I'm going to be impressed. Because you're playing with Frenzy. Like, you've got all of your key units at Frenzy, and that's just... I mean, that's something. Dragon Princes wish they were this good. Yeah, unironically. They are 2 up safe, so, you know, there is that. Okay. So, Cthulhu, you said if you have time, can you go over the hobby challenges in a bit more detail for how it works? Super simple. Basically, all it is on the Discord, there is the Tale of Many Gamers section. I've got it, I've just put it above the general section, so it's easy to find. If you don't want to see it, obviously you can press the tab button to hide, hide the channels in there if you don't want to see them. If you go into the Tale of Many Gamers, I think it's the forum section it's called, you click up at the top, there's a thing that says search or create a post. You type the name that you want to put in for your section, you click the new post button, it'll create a thread. I think they're called posts, but they're the same as threads if you've used Discord much, and it's your own section where you can go like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. It's running over 4 months. It's January through April, and it's not necessarily a competition. I'm not necessarily going to be voting on it, but maybe at the end of each month I will pick out a couple of armies that I think are super cool, maybe highlight those, something along those lines. It's not competitive, it's just a, hey, people are going to have new stuff, let's all get together and do a little bit more hobby than we have been doing, up to this point. That's the goal of it. The Escalation League itself, if you live in Nottingham, that will be more in depth with points and maybe a prize. I was thinking of doing like a session of coaching with the winner or something like that. It could be a reasonable prize that I could give away without having to spend money, which is a more limited resource. Hell yeah. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing some more stuff. Empire's a fun one. You can do a lot of stuff with just humans on the tabletop. Alright. Alrighty then. Where are we up to? Let's have a look at Renegade Clown Enjoyer's Wild Herd. Let's see what we've got here. The note is, I want to do more 2,500 point games. Super fair. Love that for you. Love that for me. Bigger games are fun. Starting from the bottom, because I wanted to check the Herdstone's there. The Herdstone's there. 4 Dragon Ogres. Pretty big fan of that. This is Wild Herd, obviously. So we've got a Beast Lord with Black Maul, Full Plate Chaos Armor, Slug Skin, Gnarled Hide. So you've got the 2-up save, and you've got the additional -1 to be hit for the unit/character, and you've got the Black Maul. Cool. Good stuff there. Wargore, BSB, Monster Hunter's Tapestry. I think this is an army that benefits from Monster Hunter's Tapestry. I think it makes Beastmen very difficult to interact with for dragons. Heavy Armor, Charm Shield, Belt of the Dark Young. Cool. Love it. I think that pretty much speaks for itself. That feels very solid. Then we've got the Wizards. Level 4, Hagtree Fetish, Pelt of Midnight, Elementalism. So this is going in the big unit then, I guess. I'm trying to be nice and not play 5 Wizards. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. In the unit's fine. I'm not a big fan of in the unit, but it's not actively bad. It's just preference. Then we've got level 2, Lore Familiar, Ruby, Ring of Ruin, Demonology. Ooh, no. Do we not want... I guess we can't... It's so bad to put a power scroll in here. But I think sometimes you just need that roll. Like, sometimes risking the miscast is worthwhile, because if you don't get Steed of Shadows off, you lose the game, because you're trapped. So I think this is where we go... Power Scroll. And honestly, Hagtree Fetish Caster can take the Ruby Ring and also a Power Scroll, because sometimes you just need to kill that MR2 dragon, and you take the risk. And you're only going to have these two together, and these 2 Brave Shamans are going to be together as well. So you're not necessarily risking 4 miscasts, you're only risking 2, as opposed to the... yeah. Does that say 52 gores? It does say 52 gores. It's a healthy number. I was playing with around 30, and those are rookie numbers. I need to get those numbers up, to be sure. I've been told, so there's some... Pash has put together a document from the UK Masters, which I'll be going to second weekend of January, and he's convinced that I'm playing Wild Herd, and that's super upsetting because I probably am playing Wild Herd. So he's gone through and he's labelled what he thinks everyone's going to play. He's gone through and looked at old world rankings or just talked to people in general. Yeah, so if I'm going to that, I'm going to have to paint some more gore. I've got some best gore just kicking around, so I'll probably just mick those in and be like, hey, my gore are the best gore. What are you doing? Anyway, going off topic there. We've got... Ooh, Thomas Spellcraft. That's actually a banger idea. And then we've got the Jagged Dagger, Scourge the Burdened, Lord of Primal Magic. Alright, this feels solid. I'd say let's make this primal magic as well. You know, because if you need primal magic, you're getting primal magic because you're looking for the anti-fanatic tech there. So, or just dry rolling there feels better. Does this need to be level 2? I guess you're fishing for a second reserve move. In fact, if we're doing that, let's make this the level 2 and make this the level 1. That makes more sense to me. Because then if you get the second reserve move, you're super jazzed. Yeah, that looks good. And then in core, Primal Warhead, 10 and 10, love it. Full command, no other upgrades, amazing. I hate the Primal Warhead myself, but you got to take it. 52 gore, full command War Banner. You know what I'd love to see actually? Not the War Banner, but the Beast Banner. Like, you don't necessarily need the combat res with that unit, I think, because you can just win other ways, but sometimes you just want to get into combat, so the Beast Banner actively gets you there. I think it's not War Banner, it's either Banner of Outrage for the reroll for Primal Fury, or it's the Banner of Swirling Wind, maybe for -1 to be shot. I could see that as well. In fact, actually, I think Banner of Swirling Wind in this list is good, because this list brings so much damage at range that you want to win the ranged fight. And you're stacking it with the Magic Resist 2 you've got already, and the Pelt of Midnight for an additional -1 to be shot. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that. In fact, we're just going to change it around. So we go Monster Hunter Tapestry here, because you don't want the BSB to be killed. And we're going to put the Swirling Wind here, because if they kill your BSB in combat, I mean, you're in combat already, so, yeah. Okie dokie. And then we've got just like an amalgamation of chaff units, which I like. I like the single Tusker Chariot, honestly. I need to put one in my list. It holds the headstone really well. How many points do we need to shave? 45. Yeah. Shouldn't need the reroll and pretty much perma leadership 10 unless the brick is really losing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. But I think, like, over War Banner, it's probably the Primal Fury roll. I think you get more value out of that. Anyway, I think we just need to... I mean, we do need to shave some points. This 19, we're going to drop to, like, 16. Multiples of 4 is good. Needs to go down to 3 models before it can't rally, and yada yada. Go down to 47. Yeah, I think that does it, honestly. I think that's good. You've given them ambushes, you've given them ambushes, you've given it to free... Oops, I clicked the wrong thing. Yeah, but this is a good list. So this hasn't taken me very long to go through, because I think you've just made good choices. This looks like a really solid 2,500 point list. I don't think there's anything that I'm looking at that I'd want, with the exception of Chalice of Dark Rain, which I guess you could fit in on here, but then you lose the Power Scroll. In fact, I think let's say screw the Power Scroll. I like it, but let's just drop it for now. And then we go... Where's it gone? Chalice of Dark Rain. And then we're 2025. We go down to, you said 42 was a good number, right? Was it 45? 45, and then we're 11 points over. Drop to Ungor. Boom. Yeah, I like that more. I know I've dropped a lot of bodies, but I think the upgrades that we've got are worth... In fact, let's just put 30 points worth of bodies back in. I think I like that more than I like... 46 back up to that's annoying. Up to 15, 14. God damn. Points just make this slightly awkward. Okay. Feel free to tweak around with the core a little bit more, but that is, I think, what I wanted to achieve there. Go up to 48 with BSP Core and Wizards. Yeah. I think that's good. We went back up to 47, so that gives you, what, 51 if you put 2 Wizards in there? That's pretty good. Oh, hold on. Fuck. I keep forgetting to add things. These two should be ambush. God damn it. Alright, now I'm going to go back and edit it again. 1 point over? That's illegal. Again, tweak the core at your leisure. I'm not going to play around with tweaking gore points, but I think this now has everything that it wants to have in. And honestly, I'm envious, because if I play Wild Herd, I'm going to feel like I'm missing so many things compared to this. Okay. Alright. We do like some Beastmen. We do like some Beastmen. Let's have a look at something different. Underscores list, who goes by Biggest Slice in YouTube. Are you here, Underscore? Let me just find what you typed around your list. 2,000 point Bretonian list inspired by your GT list. You're a beginner and this is for casual events, so you want those to be good but still fun to play against. Cool. This will be my first proper games. Ah, amazing. Currently it's in maximum Pegasus mode, so if anything, I think it might be neat to tune down rather than up. Well, Bowman, Yeoman Guard, Knights of the Realm on foot, as well as a few characters and 8 mounted knights to play around with. I love the idea of foot knights, but I can't make them work in exiles. You also love the Pegasus Knights. I don't want to overload people with them. Also, what lore of magic would you recommend for the Outcast Wizard? Hey, Biggest Slice. So, I would say Bretonians are good, but Bretonians have some issues. In that they don't play well into shooting. Okay, so do you have a model for a second Baron? Because normally what you want to do is go 2 Barons, Paladin, Outcast Wizard for your character points. Or if you wanted it to be tuned down a little bit, you could go for the 2 units of Pegasus Knights and just have less support in there. Just making it Green Knight, 6 Pegs, 1 Baron, BSB list. Yeah, like that's the obvious direction to go in. It's either Green Knight or second Baron. So let's just start off with... Okay, items, great. Charmed Shield, Frontier Axe, Cyrian's Locket, Knightly Temper, Exile's Vow, Royal Peg. Boom. This thing does what it says on the tin. Very, very good. Paladin... BSB Banner of Shalons with Spell-Eater Axe, Charm Shield, Knight. Okay, so let's go with Double Obsidian Lodestone. As long as we've got points, Lodestone's better because then you can go for the Lance. It is a lot more points, but it's worth the points if you can. Then we've got a level 3 Lore Familiar Battle Magic Outcast Wizard. This is really good, but we're going to give it a Ruby Ring of Ruin as well. I just feel good about having that in the list. And let's give it a Warhorse as well, because being able to move around is solid. You could get a second Baron. It depends how good you want it to be. So let's tweak it as it stands. And then, do I have... Hold on, let me just see if I've got an Exiles list to hand. Because, in fact, let me load up New Recruit. I don't think there's any point reinventing the wheel. So if I just send you the list that we took to Germany, the WTC Open, this is pretty much the refined version of the list. So I'm just going to immediately link that one. So that's the refined list. The first version I put in. You can tweak it, so instead of going for the Green Knight, you drop the Green Knight and put in a second Baron. You could do some interesting stuff with the Crackling Blade, probably. But this would be sort of like your standard go-to list. It's in Discord. If you're just looking for something that's good, you know, fantastic. That lives there. Let's refine this version, where you've only gone for 1 Baron. And then you've got like a Baron, a Paladin, and an Outcast Wizard. And it's just a little bit less of competitively cutthroat. Yeah, love this. Love what the Paladin's doing, love what the Baron's doing. And then the Outcast Wizard on a horse, Ruby Ring of Ruin, Battle Magic. Boom. Now, Knights of the Realm do a very important job, and you want to take 5 of them, and you want to give them... Unit Champion's fine. You don't need it, but it's fine. Hand Weapon Shields, cool. You don't need to give them... In fact, you don't want to give them the Exile's Vow, because they're currently providing their leadership to the peasants. You said you don't know how to make them work. That's it. You know, you're paying 61 points or 55 points if you drop the unit champion, and all you're doing is you're saying, hey, I'm giving leadership 8 to all 3 units that need it, so it gives some protection against first charge to the mounted the Yeoman Guard. Great stuff there. We'll also add in, you said you've got some mounted Yeomen. light armor, shields, musician, unit champion, bish bash bosh. We'll give them Feign Flight as well, why not? We're spending quite a lot of points here, but they are a bunker for the Outcast Wizards, so I'd say they're worthwhile. You don't have Mounted Human. Sorry, have I misread that? I must have misread that. One thing you don't have. Okay, no worries. We'll just go to a foot wizard here. It is better to have them not on foot, but it's still okay on foot. It's still fine. So we need to bulk up the unit a little bit. Let's go 35. And we've got 54 points. Honestly, you know what? Actually, let's just go back to 31. And let's just go a third unit of Peasant Bowmen. There's probably better things we could do here. I'm not 100% sure what we want to go with. Let's just leave it like that for now. One thing, you have more Human Guard for a tar pit. In fact, how many more Human Guard have you got? Because here's something I was considering. Just taking a really cheap second unit of like 25 men at arms that holds an off objective, just like for basically no points. 124 points for 25 models with full command. This thing kind of slaps. I'm cautiously into it. Yeah, something like that could be interesting. And then here, let's go. This unit has Errantry Banner. I generally don't go musicians on my Pegasus Knights. I think you can just save the points. Why are we so many points over? We're 50 points over. What have I done? What have I spent money on that we didn't have? Ruby Ring of Ruin. Okay, yeah, I did put more points up. Yeah. Okay, we're going to drop the champion here because we just need to shave some points. These are going to go to 14. Just, again, we're trying to shave some points here. And that feels fine. This can be 5x5. Honestly, a 26th model works well here. At this point, so the 26th model, if you're going multiple 5 or multiple 6, if you've got a unit that you think is never going to want to charge, but wants to be in marching column to get to certain objectives fast, you can just give them, like, if they're in a 5x5 brick, put one more model behind them. Then when you get charged, you always lose at least one model. Like, I don't think I've ever been in a combat with my tier 3 infantry when nothing's died. And then you immediately get the rank bonus. So you either win because you've won to not be losing any models, or you win because you kill stuff. You know, you've got the rank bonuses. So something like that feels good. And then it just comes down to the Pegasus Knights. Honestly, we actually need to cut some points. That's upsetting. Sure. Why Men at Arms over Human Guard? Because this unit is like your mainstay unit. It's going to hold the center of the board, and this is your hold the second objective. It takes more, commitment than your opponent wants to put into it. But like, if we went for 26 Human Guard, it's an extra, I guess, 26 points. Oh, I shouldn't have dropped them. I thought I duplicated it. So it's just going for like a budget secondary unit. I don't know if it's right or if it's better to go for a second unit of human, but I think this unit just sits off on the side and kind of vibes, frankly. Okay. So if we go a unit of 4 with Errantry Banner for the characters, then we go a unit of 4 with Totem of Wrath, because I think that actually makes them hit kind of hard on their own. And I think that might just do the job. Like, if you wanted to run 2 units of Pegasus Knights, this would be the way that I'd run the second unit. We do need to shave 20 points, though. Are we really just dropping 4 Human Guard to 27? I don't love that. What if I went 14 and 12? Because we've already got the second scoring unit, so I'm kind of less bothered about these. What if we go 2x12? And then this goes back to 14, 12, 29. You can play around with the core. Like, the core could be tweaked. The core is not the sort of point of the list. This way, we've got a unit of Pegasus Knights that runs around on their own with the Totem of Wrath. We've got a unit of Pegasus Knights with the Errantry Banner that is joined by the 2 characters that goes and does your like heavy lifting, and then you've got the Wizard that joins probably one of the Peasant Bowmen, and then you've got the Human Guard, Men at Arms. Yeah, this feels pretty good. Could even knock them down to 24. Yeah, I could knock them down to 24. I like the marching column, and 4 points per model doesn't actually save us points in the way that we want it to. Unless we go down, we lose 5 models, which is annoying. But yeah, I think that looks solid. I like what we've done there. Underscore. All right. I have been waffling. There's a reason that I cap out at 15 lists, because we are an hour 40 in, and I've still got, I think, 7 lists to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh! I might need to speed up a little bit. Okay, so we're going to look at Amy's list. And Amy, we can absolutely tweak this if you... So this is slow grow for just getting stuff built and painted. Amy's one of my coaching students, so if you want to refine it more after I've given my feedback this evening and you watch it, feel free to message me in the coaching channel. We'll just tweak. As a Vampire Count player, how do I take on that 2x2 character big brick of Pegasus Knights? Just never let it charge you with first charge, and always be ready to, like, on its own, it doesn't kill Vampire Counts. What you want to do is just never allow it to get into the Graveguard and stay there for a long time with support. Always have flanking units that don't allow an overrun into the Graveguard. Have your Banshees nearby so you can scream them to death, even with, magic resist and what am I trying to say? Magic resist and veteran. You can still do a good amount of damage into them. -3 leadership if you've got the Spiritual Vortex down. It's pretty punishing. It's quite a hard way to play, and don't ever let them snipe your Banshees by doing the line of sight trick. That's the main thing. I'm a pro chat yapper. Yeah, I am. I guess I am in a way. Not that the streams are like a particularly, like, they don't really make much money. I get lower viewership on the streams than I do on the videos. Thank you so much, Old Villager Thulu. I wasn't trying to bait for people to donate. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. A cup of coffee for me. I will spend that on coffee. I will go out, especially tomorrow, and get coffee. There's a coffee shop that used to be like a Deep South cowboy-themed American coffee shop at the end of my road, which is, I don't know why, but the guy who run it was lovely and the coffee was good. It was taken over by an Asian family, and they now do loads of great cooking, and they still do incredible coffee, but I just don't go there very often. They don't open past they close quite early, and they don't open on a Monday or Tuesday, and often it's Monday or Tuesday where I go, God, I'd kill for a good cup of coffee. But tomorrow I will go out specifically and get myself a nice coffee from there. Thank you so much. That was having a challenge getting charged. Yeah, so the thing that you really want to look out for when you're playing against Bretonnians, Masfer, is if someone's got a lance, they can put all of their attacks into the BSB, because the lance counts as being in base to base with all of the models in the unit. So if they have a big lance, they can just snipe out your BSB, who's providing the rerolls to the leadership test, providing combat res, providing the plus leadership, the plus weapon skill. So if you snipe that out, you're in a much better spot as the Bretonnian player. That's the big problem, really. They will sponsor your Dust Creek project. I don't know what Dust Creek is. Am I going to regret Googling this? I don't think I should. Dusty Creek? Okay. So, ye, and I cannot stress this enough. Ha. Anyway, let's get back to it. So, yes, going back to it, I think I got distracted 3 times there. Your custom arcane journal, okay. For vampire counts? That would make sense. Okay, so Amy's list. Like I say, if you want to refine it more, we can do. Just shoot me a message. As a slow grow list, Boar Boys, Totem of Wrath, damn. Okay, so Totemarath doesn't want to go on the Boar Boys because they already have choppers, which gives them AP extra 1 and reroll 1s on the charge anyway. So you're losing half the benefit, you're only getting the extra AP. So something like Banner of Butchery is more efficient there. Cav Spears. I mean, damn, you've gone very aggressive with them. I don't like Frenzy here, but if you want to go for it, it's because you're painting some Savage Orc models, so that's fair enough. Black Orcs. 19 models, Charm Shield, Monster Hunter Tapestry, Veteran. Let's give him Stubborn as well. Stubborn's really good. And then you just always want to go half and half with the weapons. We can go 10 and 9 here because you've got a Charm Shield on the unit champion. But that way, abusing Mob Rule, we can get as many models as possible there. Where's the Ragnarok? Amy has enough of Ragnaroks painted already. This is for the slogan, the hobby challenge. Orc Mob. 20 warbows, light armor, shields, warpaint, skirmishes. Ah, you can't have warpaint. Got to be frenzy to have warpaint. But yeah, that looks solid. And then 28 orcs with additional hand weapons, frenzy. Okay. This unit is here to slap. Honestly, with the volume of attacks, I don't mind the Spider Banner. Because you've got 3 attacks each if you manage to get the charge off. Which you won't, but let's just assume you did. 3 attacks each. The front rank is, let's say, 6 wide, 18 attacks, 19 attacks. You're looking at 3 6s. It's not awful. And if you get charged, you're still making 19 attacks because you've got the front rank of 6 and then the back rank of 6. Apart from all the ones that die, which will be most of them. But sure, okay. Fundamentally works. And then we've got the Black Orc on Wyvern, Talisman, Trollhide, Great Weapon. Love it. You know I love it. This is just a good loadout. Big Boss, BSB, Great Weapon, Frenzy on a Warboar. Alright. Getting spicy with it. I mean, I'd want to give them a Charmed Shield anyway. When you get shot by a cannon, you'll thank me. For being shot by a cannon, I guess. Big Boss. On the foot, I'm not bothered about giving this one a Charmed Shield. I probably should, but, like, whatever. Level 2. Sure, 2 chances to roll Arcane Urgency. I mean, this is a list. Oh, I missed it. You went for the very good. We were talking about this yesterday. So, Wizarding Hat, Lore Familiar Power Scroll. The Wizarding Hat allows you to pick up a spell from the Wood Elf lore, the Lore of the Wilds, to try and pick up the initiative test or die one. Or initiative test or take loads of hits. And then Lore Familiar, so you can pick the spell, Power Scroll, so you can actually get it off. You've got Mob Rule, so you're still casting at +2. It's very funny. It's very funny. Big Bosses for War on high output units are very valuable. That's fair, honestly. That is fair. That's something I haven't really considered. Maybe there is like a Wood Elf. You know, the Wood Elf list that Vesper submitted. Oops, I've submitted the wrong thing. Maybe like that, there's a world where you just take loads of bosses. Because they have a lot of output. With their Furious Charge, 4 attacks in the charge. And then the War. Alright. I'm vibing with it. It's 5 points over. I didn't fix that, because you could just drop an Orc if you wanted to, but I feel like it's worth just getting all of the Orcs painted. So. Cool. Cool. What do we want to go for next? Let's go for Elf Slayers. Oops. Elf Slayers list. Where's it gone? Okay, Singleton comp. It's the Italian comp. Royal Clan experiment to try hammers in limited Italian comp format. Everything 0 to 1. Max unit cost 300. Max single character 540 points. So Elf Slayer is one of my coaching students as well. We've talked about this a couple of times. I feel like this comp disproportionately hurts dwarves more than anyone else because there's no duplicate runes, no duplicate characters. I think it's very, very difficult to fit everything in. So, like, you're capped at 13 hammers. That's really rough. Okay, so we've got a king. Great weapon, full plate, shield bearers, smiting, Gromroll, preservation, furnace. Sure. So it's just the very killy king. Then we've got the Grogny Battle, Strah's Runesmith, Shield, Rune of Passage, Rune Spellbreaking. Yes. I mean, full plate here feels like it makes sense. You want to be as tanky as possible. I know technically heavy armor shield gets you to the same save in combat, but niche case, I'll pay 3 points in case I get shot by a cannonball and I just want a 5-up or 6-up save. Yeah, that'll do. Then we've got the Thane, handgun, full plate, shield, bursting flame accuracy, rapid fire. Yeah. Yep, that's good. Looks good. Then we've got Longbeards, 20 of them, full command, no runes on the banner. Rough. Drilled. Is drilled worthwhile when you can only take... You can't get quite 2 more. Can't have great weapons. Okay, so you're just bunkering. Veterans, Royal Clan Warriors. It's so rough not being able to like duplicate the runes. I feel like these units are so much less good than they should be. We've got the Iron Drakes, and the Courage Drilled, Hammerers, and a Confusion. Sure. Like I don't like it, but I also don't see a way to improve it, which is rough. Like I don't know how I make this better. I think you've kind of just maximized it in the way that you should maximize it. I mean, we can drop Rune the Furnace here and maybe put it on the Thane, because the Thane might be out of the unit, so it might get hit by a fireball. Like, that's, I think, the closest I can make to an improvement. Bobbin and his boys. Who is Bobbin and his boys? Let's have a look. Is that a list in here that I haven't got to? Ah! Sorry, Jacob. Jacket. Unfortunately, you were, I think, about the 18th or 19th list in the, there. Didn't quite make it in, unfortunately. Yeah, there were a few above you, actually, that didn't make it in. Sorry. It's a nice problem to have, but I do always feel a little bit guilty that I can't get to all of the lists. But yeah, this, like, we're looking at 16 lists tonight. I've still got, I think, 5 left to do, and we've been going for almost 2 hours. I don't have the time to do it without rushing. I think it's better to give good quality on the lists, like on a good chunk of the lists, than to rush through and get a few more in. What was I going to tweak here? I think I just have to drop like a musician somewhere, but I don't like dropping musician for dwarves. Yeah, maybe it's here. Something like this. Like, I don't think there's really much to improve for this one, Elfslayer. Like, I don't feel like... Like, I don't love it. But I feel like within the restrictions, it's very hard to improve this. Because, like, I want to make these units actually more useful. Like, 13 hammers, I think, just doesn't do it. But you wrote the whole list because you wanted the hammers in. I'm not going to remove them. I just don't think 13 hammers is enough. I think it's just going to get popped, unfortunately. It's so weird to me that you're capped at 300 points for your units, but then you can have 540 point characters. It's like they just said, hey, let's have only dragons dominate the meta, which is bizarre. Truly bizarre. I think you can also do... Hold on, how many points do you have to spend to make a good unit of Pegasus Knights? Okay, so you can have a good unit of Pegasus Knights for 300 points. Yeah, I don't think this fixes anything. It just makes underperforming armies underperform more. Makes it a little harder to be undead, but not, like, seriously harder. Alright, cool. Well, let's have a look at EMEA, who I was talking to in person last weekend. They asked me to have a look at their list from the weekend, and then they submitted an updated list. So let's have a look here for EMEA's list. Okay. You keep saying heralds. I don't think there's a heralds list that I've got in here. Again, this, like, if it was submitted past the point I was able to get to, let me just have a look. Are you, Mr. Osirian, are you Wrath on Discord? Because I'm afraid if you are, didn't get to that on the list. Sorry. Okay, so looking at this one, Amir's gone for Double Dragon, which is not what he was playing at the weekend, but I think it's probably how you have to play Dark Elves realistically. There is more chaos. We'll get some more chaos in a sec. So, Dreadlord, Pendulum Caliph, you've gone for a Lance here. I just swapped the Lance for a Great Weapon. The -1 on the armor save is kind of negligible. You've got a 4 ward save against tough stuff anyway, so you may as well just actively do something with the elf. You know, you have to strike first, so if your hand weapon attacks in subsequent rounds of combat, you're pretty sad if you get locked in the challenge. The Sorceress, though, definitely changing the loadout of the Sorceress. You've gone for double focus Familiar Tome of Furion, which fits under, but unfortunately, you can't get a ward save in combat because you're in Elementalism. So I think you've just got to realistically go Talisman of Protection here. I think that's probably the only way to put this character in. You can go for a single focus familiar if you want to, and then you just dry roll on whichever of the laws is most important. I went with Battle Magic when I was playing it, but it was pre 1.5. Demonology gives you a bit more oomph if you get it. Dark Magic gives you more oomph if you get it. Illusion for the signature spell is probably fine as well. Just going for Glittering Robes. Oh, you could be level 3 and get a... Oh, wait, hold on. You could go level 3 Lore Familiar. Okay. Why is this so cheap? Why is this wizard... Alright, cool. We'll go level 3 Lore Familiar. Ah, no. You'd gone Lore Familiar on the Sorceress. Okay. That was it. Sure. I mean, we can still go Tome of Fury to get that extra spell. It's cheaper than going level 4. We don't have the points to go for actual level 4 as well, so... Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's probably just illusion, and then you don't worry about those two things. And you just take a cheap weapon so you don't get locked in combat with something that's ethereal. This feels better. Yeah, this feels fine, I think. Could even give it a Ruby Ring of Ruin. I'm not going to, because it should be in combat most of the time, but... I mean, you know what, honestly, let's just go Double Dreadlord. I think Double Dreadlord's probably more correct, especially if you can put an actual wizard in here. So we'll go one with the Pendant of Caliph, no, sorry, the Shield of Grond, which gives you -1 strength to incoming attacks. And then we pair that with the Talisman of Protection, and we'll also give it... I guess this one gets... What does it get? Too many... Biting Blade has too many points. That's annoying. That is annoying. I guess it just gets a Lance. I don't feel great about that, but it's probably okay. And then we make this one the General, because it's the tanky one. And then this one goes around and tries to kill stuff. Sure. Yeah, and then we've got the Sorceress, who's got the Lore Familiar Demonology Cold one. Goes with the Cold ones, and then you've got the Doomfire Warlocks for Battle Lust. So this just makes this unit super killy. We're going to change the Totem of Wrath. I know it's better than Banner of Harganeth on the charge, because you get the reroll once to wound. But just having this always makes the Cold One Knights tick, in my opinion. We'll also give them Magic Resist 2 here, so let's go with the Double Obsidian Lodestone, I think. Like so. And then we've got the core. You've gone 7-7-7. I think let's just go 8-8 and whatever. You know, we'll tweak as we need to. So giving these two Fire and Flee just gives you a bit more flexibility on the table. And this unit can go down to 6. This unit can go down to 6. Drop the Musician. And then... I don't think we need so 12 shades with the guiding eye sounds good on paper, because for anyone who doesn't know, the guiding eye lets you reroll all of your hits for one turn. So you do it in the shooting phase, your ballistic skill 5. You've got multiple shots, so you're hitting on 3s baseline. Then if you move, it becomes 4s, or long range, it becomes 5. So let's assume that you're hitting either on long range or moving, because it's probably going to be one or the other, usually. So you're going to be hitting on 4s, which means that with 12 models, you've got 24 shots, and you go to 12 hits or 18 hits with the guiding eye, so you're getting plus 6 hits. But then you're probably going to be trying to wound something that's, you know, T3 or T4 with a 4 up or 5 up save. So let's assume it's T3. You're going, what? You've got 12 hits becoming 18, so that gives you either 6 hits or 9 hits, and then we'll not factor in Armor Bane just for the sake of the maths, because effort. But then you're going to be against a 5 up save, killing 4 to 6.5 models. Is that right? Have I done them? No, 3 to 4.5 models. I thought that sounded terrible. So that's not particularly exciting. But that's not necessarily an issue with the guiding eye, that's an issue with Dark Elf Shades. I don't hate having a unit coming in the backline to do, like, harassment shenanigans, but I think just going for, like, a unit of 8 coming in the back to harass and try and get the baggage train, probably better, and then you can just up this to 8, up this to 14, and that feels better than having more shades, because this is just coming in the back line to deal with baggage trains or try and be a nuisance, really. But yeah, I think in terms of Dark Elves, this is probably how I would do it. Amir doesn't have Discord. Let me load up WhatsApp, because that's how you message me. This is not an invitation to message me via WhatsApp normally. The standard format of put it in the chat on the right day applies. But I talked to Amir in person, and I said that I'd tweak his list. There we go. There we go. Dark Elves count? Yeah, Dark Elves are basically chaos. Okay, so what have we got left? We've got Knightly Order, Wild Herd, Wolves of the Sea, High Elves, and Mortuary Cult. Okay, we've just done Elves. We've just done Dark, so let's go with something different. Let's go with Knightly Order. Yeah, let's go Knightly Order. So we have Giles' list. Giles. Let's have a look here. If I scroll up, Giles will put some notes in. Determined to make the Knightly Orders list work. Going to be giving this a first test game on Monday, so keen to hear any thoughts ahead of that. Wonder about just banging an Ogre Blade on the Grandmaster or keeping him cheaper. One of the mages is to give something Battle Lust, and the other is there to do Magic Missile Chav out of the way and defend against Ethereal. Archers are there to sit on an objective. Okay, so we've gone Blazing Sun. This is one where I absolutely have to load up the Empire Journal, because I cannot remember all of the foibles of Knightly Order, because you don't see them. Okay. So, Blazing Sun, right? I think we were going with Blazing Sun. So you get 0 to 2 Master Mages characters, 0 to 1 Canon per 1,000 points. Okay, great stuff. This is one of the 2 good ones. Moore and Blazing Sun do make a lot of sense to me. And then the bonus that you get is, this is the initiative one, right? I think Blazing Sun? No, it's the combat res one. So, evasive, flaming attacks, and you get +1 combat res when calculating its cumulative result. And it's also one of the cheaper ones. Okay, so now we have the information there. Let's have a look. So. Double cannons, good start. No engineers, but what are you going to do? Lore Familiar Dark Magic, this wants to get a power scroll. If you are bringing this to do a job, let's make sure that the job is done well. So we'll go with Dark Magic. Then we've got a level 1 Demonology Wizard with Ruby Ring of Ruin, and we're going to give this the... Oh, do we not have points for a Wizard Staff? Ooh. Okay. We'll just put up with that. But that does suck. Okay, that's fine. We've got 2 characters, and then the units we have, we've got a unit of 12 Empire Archers, we've got 7 8, 8, and then 8 Inner Circle Knights. Okay. So the Grandmaster, Lance, twice blessed armor, Silverhorn, White Cloak. Silverhorn, isn't that like reroll Swift Stride or something? I guess if you're going full mounted, that actually does feel pretty okay. And then you've got a Chapter Master. Is it? Yeah, you can only have 0 to 1 Grandmaster, which is weird, because that's worse than just the general. If we're doing anything with this character, we're giving them a Charmed Shield. And they're Strength 4 base, right? 3 attacks at Strength 4 base. I don't like Sword of Might, but having magical attacks is important. Okay. Do we have Witch Hunter's Ward on everyone here? Yes. Okay, so that's the first thing checked. Excellent. We've got... Drilled and Stubborn? Drilled. Honestly, I think you're going to lose combat a lot with these, so let's give them both Stubborn. And then the unit that doesn't have Drilled and Stubborn can have a Musician. There's no banners on any of these. There's a War Banner here. I mean, you have to actually try and kill some stuff, right? So let's upgrade this to the Totem of Wrath. And then, yeah, I think we are going to upgrade this to be a killy character, or as killy as possible. We can't go White Cloak, unfortunately, so we're just going to go Ogre Blade and the Twice Blessed Armor. Get rid of the Lance. Cool. It's a little bit squishy, but it is what it is. Then we've got the BSB. Sword of Might, Charm Shield. I really don't like that Sword of Might, but it is what it is. Let's give it... kind of feel like it might just be Banner of Swirling Winds here. So you have a unit that doesn't get shot to pieces, and both of these probably go in the Inner Circle unit with the Totem of Wrath. I don't hate it. I wonder how cheap it is to put 1+ Chapter Master. Do we just fill up the unit with Chapter Masters? I guess we don't have points for it because we've gone... Honestly, you know what? Screw this unit here. Let's just go 2 good units and just not care about the 3rd Jammy unit. And just put another Chapter Master in. We're literally just going full plate, Barded Warhorse, Charm Shield. How many points is that? 113? Adds a little bit of punch, a little bit of combat res, though. One of these units can go down to 7. And we're 16 points over. This unit's going to be 10, this unit's going to be 8, this unit's going to be 7, but it's going to have a character in. What else do we need to tweak here? Chance of a regular Night Brick with demis. It's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout. Do you have to have 2 units of knights, or am I talking out my backside? I think I'm talking out my backside. I don't think you have to have 2 units of knights at all. So let's go. Oh no, I'm correct. God, that's so unfortunate. I don't know how we fit that in. So like we'd have to drop this, and then the Inner Circle Knights go down to say 6 because they've got both characters in. And if we go down to a 7 and a 6, and then we go Inner Circle Demigryphs, like this, that doesn't even feel good, I don't think. But I guess it does have something that lets you go, you know what, actually, I don't mind it. It gives you some beef. I don't know that I like it more, but I don't know that I like it less. Maybe this will do. I think this is a difficult one to puzzle out, honestly. I think that I think within this list, without changing it too much, I don't know where I'd want to go with it. But I think there might be something to the character bomb list, like Vesper was doing with Wood Elves, and you just stack as many characters in like inner circle knights as possible. Maybe that's something to play around with. The problem is the characters aren't even that cheap. They're cheap-ish, but they're also just pretty dog shit. So, yeah. Can't put witch hunters on a... no. Like, it's only the chapter masters and the grand masters that can go on demigryphs here, right? Yeah. Do demigryphs... I can't remember. Demigryphs don't give you +1 wound or something. No, they give you +1 wound, but not +1 toughness. Okay. Welcome to the Empire. I know, I've looked at Empire Knightly Orders a lot over the years, or the year, I guess. Because it would have been really cool to make it work, but I just can't work out how. I will put the timestamp in, so we were roughly 1 hour in... oh, sorry, 2 hours in. Roughly. Because this is a little bit of a... confused. I'm not 100% sure on this. But that's fine. That is fine. We'll go with that. I think this is the best I can offer on this at this time. And I'll maybe have to have another look at it another time. Just like Knightly Orders as a general concept. Alright. Alrighty then. Let's have a look now. Let's go Chaos. We've got a Wolves of the Sea list from Calamity. I feel like this is... I recognise this. I think this is one that we've looked at before, right? But then we've tweaked. Playing around with sea wolves at the moment, trying different things to see how much pressure I can apply before they can respond. No restrictions. First playtest with the Huskarls showed promise, but that was with Mark and Nurgle. Hoping Mark of Khorne will add more fuel to the fire and not get based away. I'm not on board with Mark of Khorne on the Huskarls. So this unit, I think the flails... I don't know why nobody pays for the heavy armor. Like, come on. Let's just not die. Let's not go Mark of Khorne. Let's go Mark of... honestly, Mark of Undivided. Like, I'm not bothered about spending the points. Longstriders... oh, you get the Vanguard. Vanguard's not worthwhile. You can't charge if you Vanguard, so screw it. But let's give them Dark Hearts, because it gives you the additional -1 leadership if you win. Or... remind me what Battle Hunger is. No, that's the... yeah. Okay, so we're going to put a Brazen Collar on them. Nurgle or Slaanesh Shoulder. Undivided. Undivided's really damn good. Like, re-rolling your Panic, Fear and Terror is just incredible levels of consistency, and it doesn't cost anything. I could lose that really strong buff and pay 2 points for the privilege, and then get something else. I'm not there. I'm not there for that. I do like the Banner of the Swirling Winds. They have drilled, so we don't need a Musician. Yeah, I don't want to go Mark of Khorne. Swirling Wind's good, Totem of Wrath's good as well. I think both are fine. Alright, so you've gone for the Chaos Warriors, Helm of Many Eyes, Charmed Shield, great weapons. Honestly, is it not just hand weapons? Like, I don't know we need to spend the 10 points to give them great weapons here. You just go hand weapon shield, or additional hand weapon. No, it's never additional hand weapon, I'm talking rubbish. Oh, I guess it's only 5 points because you're not giving them shields here. Yeah, whatever. I don't know that it's Mark and Nurgle either. Like, if anything, it's Mark of Khorne for the additional attacks. Yeah, no, it can't be great weapons because then you're only striking at initiative. No, it's definitely not. Let's go Mark of Khorne, hand weapons with a charmed shield. Then you've got 3 attacks. Striking first, strength 3, strength 4, AP 1. That just feels like you could go halberds if you wanted to. I just don't think it's great weapons. That doesn't feel right to me. I don't think there's anything that we need to give them here. Oh! Enhanced reflexes. That's a lot cheaper than Helm of Many Eyes, honestly. What if we just do this and we drop the Helm of Many Eyes? That saves us 15 points, and we're initiative 6 with the hand weapons. The problem is painting Undivided is boring, but painting Chaos Mark models is just fun. Yeah, you can always just play the entire army Undivided and paint them with marks, though. That's probably the way I'd go with that. Okay. Yeah, this feels fine. This I like. Nothing else here is worth... I mean, I don't mind Battle Hunger, but I guess we can't fit that in. Okay, 4 Skin Wolves. I like Skin Wolves. I think they're fine. I think they're aggressively okay. Okie dokie. Then we've got the Exalted Champion, Great Weapon, Undivided, Meteoric Iron. Okay, so we're going for the T6 Dragon. Whether it works or not, I will leave other people to argue, but if you're going for it, this is the version that works well. You got the regen, you got the T6, you've got the Great Weapon. Sure. Meteoric Iron as well. Then we've got the Demon Prince, Fly, level 4, Undivided. That's not right. We're definitely paying for that, Zinch. Gimme that good magic missile. I know you can always go into the Demonology magic missile, but Blue Fire is better. Ogre Blade, Trailblazer's Hallbuck. Is that Ogre Blade? Yeah. Like, you could even go... In fact, sorry. You're going for melee, so let's go Nurgle so you can get the +1 toughness spell. That feels better. Yeah. Gifts of Chaos. I don't think there's anything here. I guess Diabolic Splendor's very good in that it means that you don't get blasted off the face of the earth immediately. Sure. Let's go there. Alright, and then we've got the Berserkers. I would like to see unit champions here, so you can just soak a challenge if you need to. And 4 units of Warhounds is a little excessive, I think. We do need to fix this in terms of points, though, which is going to be very difficult to do. Honestly, I know it's going to mess up my numbers. I don't hate the throwing axes. Sure. And then... Oh, no, fuck. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Horn doesn't work, because you didn't charge. Could go Slanesh. +1 initiative first round of combat, so then you're initiative 7. But again, I think just enhanced reflexes for initiative 6 is going to be good enough in almost every case. Swordmaster's initiative 6, I think. Okay, so Swordmaster specifically can go before you. I have not seen Swordmasters on the tabletop in a long time, and I haven't seen them in a list that I didn't feel I could beat without a gimmick. So, yeah, I think that's okay. We do have to make some sacrifices here, though. I think we just have to drop a Skin Wolf, which is a real shame, because 3 is kind of anemic, but I don't really want to drop... Hold on, is there a way to do it? If we drop 1 Marauder Huskell... Oh, I'm an idiot. Icon of Darkness. There we go, cool. Boom. We just go for the cheaper banner that does the same thing. You can tell that it's getting too late in the night. Boom. Sorry, what wolves? I was talking about the Warhounds. 3 units of Warhounds is too much, but the Skin Wolves are good. Cool. Alright, so we've done a Chaos one. We're going to go on to an Undead one. So Tafster's Mortuary Cult, New Year, New Army, first tournament in February, so subject to change pending FAQ, using square-based comp, leaning into the Leadership Bomb with Ushabti support. I'm not sold that the Leadership Bomb is a good way to play, but it is a fun way to play, so hell yeah. I will say, I think you go double Screaming Skull Catapult instead of Cascade of Souls. Oh yeah, of course. Tafster had made a number of Iron Maiden references, which is appreciated. Last time I saw Iron Maiden, they flew a plane over the stage, which was pretty cool. How do you even play with Dark Elves post 1.5? Double Dragon's not cutting it anymore. A Double Dragon. Like, there's only one way to play them, unfortunately. And it's not a particularly exciting way to play them, I'm afraid. So we've got 6 Ushabti with Great Bows. Yep, that's good. And then we've got the Tomb Scorpion. Okay, both of those are great. Obviously, you've got to take them. Okay, so you're going 14 Ushabti, double catapult, 1 casket, I think is a good number. I think the leadership bomb needs double casket at least. I mean, you can do. We need to cut points elsewhere, because I think double catapult is good. Does Renegades help Dark Elves much? No, it does not. It does not at all. Honestly, those Necrosphinxes can go away. Tara's to take advantage. Hold on. With negatives leadership to take advantage of Tara's. Do they do anything? No, they just get a come up from Terrace below. We need to cut some points, and this is a unit that I think is not doing a lot, so we're just gonna take those out. And honestly, probably just go like a second unit of Skeleton Skirmishers. You get a lot more consistency with having like a big unit of skirmishers here to hold, to stand around in, and then maybe we just have to take... Oh, we're trying to do so many things here. Okay, so let's have a look. Level 4 Wizard, on foot Necromancy, Lore Familiar, Warding Splint, Ruby Ring Throne. Lore Familiar? No, I don't think you can go Lore Familiar. Because you need the reserve move, and you need... Yeah. So we can't go Lore Familiar, unfortunately, because you need to take the reserve move. Warding Splint is fine, but I think just be in with the skirmishers. This one doesn't need to have ambushes. That will save you more. And then the Ruby Ring is fine as well. And then we go the Mortuary Priest, level 2, Illusion, Scarab Brooch. Okay, so this one wants to be Necromancy as well, because you're trying to roll the good spells. And you're not going to take Glittering Robes, because you're going to be taking specifically... the Cursed Blades of Jaff, which is in the Lore of Nakara. Casting on a 7, giving you a command range bubble of reroll 1s to hit. You're probably planning on taking that, but I don't think you take it as a illusion. I think you just take it for backup necromancy spells or what have you. Scarab Brooch gives you like a longer... doesn't that just give you a longer From Beneath the Sands? Yeah. We don't need that. It's a backline caster. Sure. So we can save some points there. Just realised you can't give heavy armour and unnatural fortitude. Oh, that's true. That is true. I think I've done that twice this evening. I think unnatural fortitude. The T5 is better than the extra save. Bugger, I'd forgotten about that. That's why both of you haven't put unnatural fortitude and heavy armour on. Because you can't. Good catch. Good catch. What is a way to play Dark Elves you mentioned? Is it something else apart from Double Dragon? I think it's just, like, it's the stuff that I was playing in 1.5, but it's just worse. Unfortunately. Okay, I think this is a pretty solid list. Like, I wouldn't be upset to see the Scroll of Withering in here, but it's so hard to actually get in. Scroll of Summoning is pretty cool as well. Just for additional, you know, increasing the regen is pretty funny, but I don't think it's super useful. I'd like another roll of Scroll of Righteous Smiting as well, but I don't think we can fit that in, because you have to take 2 scrolls, yada yada. So I think it's probably just this, and you go something like that. 10 and 12. Yeah. I've gone 2 points over. Gosh darn it. Alright, 14 and 16. The unit that's protecting the characters it's important not to allow it to be one-shot, so I think those are probably the tweaks I'd make. But I think the problem with this list specifically is that you are trying to do too many things by going for the leadership debuffing and also a lot of Ushabti and then also an infantry brick. It feels like you need to limit it down to maybe one less of those, I would say. So we had to cut some of the ambushing stuff already, but I think even there you might want to go more Ushabti here and like Maybe less in special. Maybe you make it a bigger unit. I don't really know how to do it. You could take the drop. You could take the drop the 6 Ushabti and take more wizards. Could do that, but I feel like the problem with the leadership debuffing list is it doesn't actually do that much damage. It's very inconsistent. So I feel like the Ushabti is still the best part of it. But then you probably just go like, oh, I'll just take the Elementalism version, which is a shame. It is fun to play, but also I do feel strongly about having double Skull to the Foe if you're going debuffing. Okay, we got 2 lists left. Let's have a look at Jorkuf's Wild Herd. Trying to fit a Wild Herd into a team with Orcs and Goblins, Chaos, and Bretts. Okay, so this is 4-player teams. So Bretts and Chaos are full send. Orcs and Goblins is defensive. So this is your anti-Cathay / just magic list. Okay, don't like that. I'm not a fan of the single Shartak. I'm just going to cut that immediately and find points elsewhere. I don't think single Shartaks do anything in 1.5, to be honest. Beastlord, shield, full plate. Yeah, okay, so this is the same build as Renegade Crown Lover earlier, or Renegade Clown Lover. So, good build there. Then we've got the Wargore BSB with no banner, just hand weapon is good, and let's upgrade that shield to a charm shield. The reason the hand weapon's fine is because you're just going to have foe render. AP2 hand weapon is almost as good as a great weapon because you're also tankier. So that is solid there. You really don't want the BSB to die. Pelt of Midnight is good. Love it. Then we've got a Chalice of Dark Rain, Hagtree Fetish, Primal Magic, Great Brave Shaman. Cool. Level 2 Demonology. I'd like to see a Power Scroll on there, but we don't have points for it. And then we've got 2 more level 1s. Okay, this is a solid character setup. I know the Power Scroll is less important in Wild Herd and it's more risky, but I like the Power Scroll here if you can fit it, because sometimes you just need to cast through the shadows or you lose the game. So risking the miscast on like an 8% chance, or maybe failing to cast, I know which one I'd rather go for. This is the 20 Primal Gore Herd. Great, no upgrades, love it. Ungor, this unit should have ambushes for free. And then we've got Rezgor, Gore. I think 4 Rezgor is overkill. I like 3. That feels like a solid spot to go with. And then we've got points to play with. Honestly, I really like the Brick of Dragon Ogres here. I feel like it adds a lot, but I don't think we've got enough points to fit it in. Maybe it's just more core then. Like, you know, we talked about it earlier. We like the Tuskor Chariot because it can hold the Herdstone on its own. And it's also a source of first charge, which in some lists is really important to have. It's really nice there. And then we've got the Gore Herd, Scourge the Burdened, War Banner. I just don't ever think it's War Banner. Maybe I'm wrong. How many can we go up to? 42? 43? Yeah, there we go. I think the list was almost there. Just... Did I change much? I took out a Shartak. Sure. Tweaked the core around a little bit was basically all. But I think, Jorkuf, this was a pretty good list already. There was not a lot of tweaking to do there. Good character loadouts. And good shit, basically. Alright. Let's have a look at... Let's see what we're working with the High Elf list. This is just a regular High Elf list from Dazed. What does Dazed say? A list I made for an upcoming tournament. Mage runs Arcane Agency and Oaken Shield, waffling between this build or running an Archmage with B tier hammer, an illusion, and a noble mounted BSB. Okay. So, I don't believe you can run a single dragon. I think you have to have something to pair it with that can challenge or provide loads of combat res. And you don't have that on this list. You've got the Silver Helms, which are fine, but they don't necessarily do the job in the way that you want them to. You are really going hard on this Dragon Prince Death Star, though. Okay, so what have we got on the... I think this is just the right build, right? So it's the Armor of Calidor, Seed of Rebirth, Opal Amulet, Pure of Heart, Halberd. Yeah, so this is the standard Prince build that you'd expect to see. Then we've got the Lothan Seaguard. I don't think 20 Lothan Seaguard is a good purchase, especially with Raised Standard. Like, you would be better off just going Spearmen, using the same models, and going 30 Spearmen, full command, veteran shield wall, and I guess War Banner. And let's just drop this down to 325. 28 models. Like, this is... Oops, need another one. Yeah, there we go. 27 Spearmen, better than the 20 Lothan Sea Guard you had there. You can use the same models, but this is just going to hold a point more consistently. Even though they don't have the shooting won't really do anything. Double Skycutter I think is really good. The Dragon Princes are tuned. They look good. And then it just comes down to the characters. The problem you have is, like, I don't know how the Prince plays the game, because it can't run around and get a charge. I think, in terms of, like, the actual optimizing of the list you've submitted, it's hard to tweak anymore. I think the way that you've done it is pretty good, but I think you just want something to fly around with the Prince. I don't want to tweak that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna link the times stamp and just sort of talk about what I would do. I think either a Prince on Griffin or a second dragon here probably goes better, because doing that allows you to run the like 2 dragons, or the Griffin and the dragon, into the front of the unit, and then just still get use out of it. You can run it alongside the Silver Helms or the Dragon Prince, but I just feel like it loses a lot of utility by doing it that way. Yeah, but I think with the list that you've put in, you've maximized it reasonably well there. Alright. Cool. Well, that takes us to the end of the list there. And, yeah. This will be the last stream that I'll do before Christmas. There will be still a video going up at 8 PM on Tuesday, the normal stream time for the podcast that Lewis and I am going to pre-record. Thursday will be Christmas. I will not be putting a video up on Thursday, but I will probably be back and doing something on the 30th. I don't know if I'm going to do a tier list. Yeah, not sure what I want to do on the 30th, but I'll probably stream then, and then back to normal running with videos on the 1st of January. 1st of the new year. Well, hope you all have a good holiday, and